Welcome to the Sonic Collective, where music's past meets its future. Join hosts Alan, Scott, and Darren Scott as we explore the albums, artists, and movements that shaped the music we love today. From legendary records and influential musicians to rising artists creating tomorrow's soundtrack, we're passionate about helping music fans discover what matters. While streaming algorithms push what they're paid to promote, we dig deeper, connecting you with the classics you need to revisit and the new artists you need to hear. Rediscover the music that shaped the past. Discover the artists shaping the future. This is the Sonic Collective.
Take me to a place where love is. Paper and a pen, I escape the planet. I just try to stay above shit. Visions of the moon when I visit Saturn. Imagine life where color doesn't matter. Imagine peace where murder doesn't happen to my people dying in the streets every day around the world. Blood splatter, sit back, chill, watch the
Welcome back to our ongoing Sled Island series, where we're exploring one of Canada's most important independent music festivals and the artist who helped make it such a vital part of Calgary's cultural identity. Throughout this series, we're sitting down with some of the incredible musicians performing at Sled Island 2026 to learn about their music, their creative journeys, and what this unique festival means to them and the broader Canadian music community. Today, we're joined by K-Rizz, one of Western Canada's most exciting and versatile artists, blending hip-hop, R&B, pop, jazz, and reggae influences. K-Rizz has built a reputation for creating music that's both deeply personal and undeniably uplifting. Whether he's reflecting on life's challenges, celebrating growth and resilience, or commanding a stage with his 7-piece band, K-Rizz and the Family, he always delivers an unforgettable live experience. From award nominations and critical acclaim to performances at festivals across Canada, K-Rizz has steadily established himself as one of the most compelling voices in Canadian hip-hop. In this conversation, we discuss his musical journey, his connection to Sled Island, and how festivals like this help artists build community, find audiences, and create opportunities that can shape careers. I'm Darren Scott, and this is a Sonic Collective. Here's my conversation with K-Rizz. Enjoy. Why not grab on? And I was going to say, I saw you last year, actually. I was sitting at the Ship and Anchor right in that main area when you got up with Bijan and and Hawa B. Oh man, Hawa B. She put on a show that day.
That's when she was like chewing the cucumber and like spitting it out at people and things like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That one, I was just like, what is going on? I've always had a thing for Sade too, and she had very Sade vibes, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I fell in love that day again, I think. But but I know you got up there that time, and that was a great hip-hop set at the Ship that afternoon. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks again. But yeah, I appreciate it. And reading some of your bios and stuff, and it sounds like I'm a bit of an older guy, but it's funny, I always love my hip-hop. And I saw you like Eric B., Rakim, and Tribe Called Quest for me, all that. Hip-hop, the 90s soul, like, oh man, so you're right up my alley, so I'm glad to be talking to you. Let's get rolling. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your musical journey.
Oh man, my name is K-Riz. I was born and raised in Toronto / Edmonton, with my mom living in Toronto, my dad living in Edmonton. So I've been back and forth my whole life. I'm a rapper. Picked up singing or incorporated singing along the way. I think I've been singing since I was a baby, also in church and things like that. I got a band. We go across the country, sometimes different continents. We went to South Korea. We've been all over the place and been able to, spread the gospel that is music and good music and bringing people together. To me, that is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's amazing. When did music become more serious for you? Sounds like it was there your whole life. When did it become more than just a hobby?
It probably would have became more of a hobby, probably like between 15 and 10 years ago. I was always recording music. My uncle, Errol Eats Everything, formerly known as E-Dot, part of a group called Hero. I wanted to be, I just wanted to be like him, and I wanted to be like some of my favorites. And yeah, I was like, the only way to use his talent is take it seriously and put it in front of people and see what happens. So,
when did you start in Edmonton and that scene, and then what connected you and moved you to Calgary?
I'd probably say around 06, 07 is when I really got into the Edmonton scene. There was a showcase here called 10 at 10. So it's 10 artists. They had 10 minutes to go up there and show their stuff. And Benny, who was the 10 at 10 founder, he invited me to Calgary to come do a showcase. And it was surprising because it was a random Wednesday night. The Commonwealth was packed, which is very hard to do for hip-hop showcases.
That's a big venue.
Oh, yeah. And it was packed. It was like there were some celebrities up in there. And that was my first experience, my first adult experience here in Calgary. And I just loved it. And I just wanted to keep coming here and watering that, connection and hoping that it blooms into something. And I guess it bloomed into me moving here. That's how much I like it. So.
Yeah, amazing. So when did you first hear about the Sled Island Festival?
I first heard about it, I think around 2017, around the same time. Our first time at Sled, we opened for Thundercat at the Palace Theater. Crazy show, crazy venue, crazy show. We were a pretty big band. I think we had 13 members of our band at that point in time. Yeah, that was the first time, and it was an amazing experience.
Palace, you mentioned another great venue. We got the Commonwealth Palace. Calgary's got some great live venues. So besides you playing there, have you at Sled Island, what artists or bands or acts have you discovered at the festival while you were experiencing it?
Ooh, I got to see Princess Nokia, which was dope. She actually came out and talked to us after. And
oh, cool.
And I mean, I was somewhat like a fan of hers, but I've never really got to see her live and do her thing. So I got to see that. Even just watching peers from the community, do their thing. It's just like an all-star. It feels like a music all-star week here in the city. So there's just so many people to check out. How I Be was another one that I was pleasantly surprised.
We were just talking about that. Hawa B definitely opened some eyes and very sensual, sexy, soulful. Wow.
Yeah,
amazing.
It was an experience. And yeah, I just didn't really know. I wasn't really walking in there with any expectations. I've met an artist, Mackie. He's from Montreal also. Same with Hawa B. And I met him out here also. And we've just been friends and, peers in Canadian music community for a while now. And we met through Sled Island. So just meeting a lot of friends and making a lot of friends.
Yeah, fantastic. So hip hop historically has received a bit less festival representation, but that's growing than, I guess, let's call it alternative or punk or other acts like that. Mm-hmm. I guess, how has Sled Island helped grow Calgary and I guess local Alberta audiences to hip hop?
I think it's also forced a lot of hip hop artists to expand. It's forced hip hop artists to, get a band together and get on stage and, and bring that musicality plus the lyricism to the people. I think it's easier to digest when there is music, when there's live musicians and instrumentation behind it. Outside of a hip hop community that's used to a DJ and a microphone. It just invites more people into the music because people don't really know that, hip hop has elements of jazz in it. That's kind of what birthed the culture. And, bringing that to people just entices them and invites them, and it makes it comfortable for a new listener to embrace hip hop. So I think you're seeing in Calgary right now, we were just talking about it the other day, you're seeing a lot of hip hop artists with bands. And I think that kind of elevates the craft.
Yeah, I totally agree. The old classic 2 turntables and a microphone is great, but to add those elements, and I think you yourself are known for that, not just a strict rapper, but again, you mentioned you've been singing for a while and you do a great job at that. Going back, digging a little deeper, what is the hip hop community in Calgary, Alberta like, and what opportunities does it have to grow here?
I think it's a very hungry community. I think everybody works hard. There's venues here that allow the music in there. I think there was a time where Alberta was losing their venues, but we still got some venues that really support the music community here. And like I said, you're starting to see a boom of hip hop artists with bands. And I think that, changes the way people outside of your view hip hop. I mean, it showcases the musicians that we have, showcases the artists that we have, and showcases the vocalists that we have. So I think with that, it's just a matter of time before the rest of the world catches on. I think there's a bunch of world-class artists here and younger ones coming up also that, are waiting for the world to discover them. We have artists like Cartel Madras, Arlo Maverick, myself, Bijan is exploding this year, T Fanny. And I mean, to me, those are all world-class artists. Micah Sage, all world-class artists. And it's just a matter of time. I think if we all stay focused and we all stay pushing, I think this year and next year are going to be very good years for Alberta music in general.
Yeah, agreed. I'm somebody who goes and sees a lot of live music too. And actually, Cartel Madras is someone that I'm also interviewing. So I'm very excited to talk to those two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And have some really big international exposure as well. So yeah, I think you're right. Alberta and Calgary, especially in the modern political climate, can be just seen as crazy and all this political stuff. But really, there's a very cool musical culture in and around, especially the bigger cities of Calgary and Edmonton. But yeah, and great artists that you've recommended there, and highly recommend anybody get out to see them when they possibly can. What venues, you mentioned a couple that you said that are really supporting. I'd love to give them a shout out. What venues do you mostly play, or would you recommend in the Calgary or Alberta area?
The classic Ship and Anchor.
Yeah, Ship is always great.
It's always great. I believe we're there on the 18th of June for Sled Island.
Yep.
So you got Ship, you got Palomino, you got the Attic down in Inglewood, you got the Prairie Emporium, National Music Center, shout out to them, King Eddie, classic venue. I'm trying to think, I just don't want to forget anybody. Commonwealth, Palace, Contemporary Calgary, Arts Commons. There's a lot of, there are a lot of arts places. Alcove, I cannot forget about Alcove.
Yeah, good one.
And I think Alcove is great because they help support an artist from a ground level, from open mics to doing shows and doing showcases. So
what opportunities do you think, especially Sled Island itself, has created that maybe don't exist elsewhere in maybe Alberta or even anywhere in Canada?
To me, the opportunities that for example, you have a city like Toronto. It's big, hard to connect everyone and bring everyone together. It's very hard because you have surrounding areas, Brampton, Mississauga, things like that. It's very hard to do that. Whereas in Calgary or Edmonton, we're very lucky because we're not as big. So, having a festival that, happens in the city that you're living in, it just brings the community together. First of all, it brings the artists together. So you get artists in the same place, getting to see each other, getting to fellowship, getting to chop it up, and be around each other for a week. So it's nice to do that. It's nice to be able to do that, and also it just brings out the community, it brings out the people, the music lovers. Come out and enjoy music from your local community, or just artists that haven't quite blown up yet. You get to see them, working their stuff out. And I think that is incredible. I think that's very cool and very unique.
Back to Sled Island, you mentioned playing at the Palace, but how does performing at a Sled Island stage different than playing one of your regular club shows?
It's because the artists come out and watch. Some of the artists that you're sharing the bills with, and sometimes that lineup can be very diverse. It is not like you can be a rapper on a bill with a rock band or a punk band or a math rock band, and you guys get to see each other do your thing. And I think that is very cool, and it's very special because you can learn from each other. You can form bonds that last forever. I think that is such a cool thing about Sled.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mentioned I actually saw the hip hop show at last year's Sled Island, the Ship and Anchor, which awesome venue and so great. A full afternoon, and you showed up. I don't think you were actually on that bill, were you? Or was that?
I never get a chance to just sit and watch shows. Especially if I'm on a song with one of the performers, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have to get up there and perform.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we appreciated it. That was a very good set. And I think, and just to, people don't know this, but I'm a guy in my 50s. But like you mentioned, really, it just sled brings together this diverse crowd. And I love live music, but I don't have the time and all that to necessarily get into all the club shows at night. But like sled, you can get exposed. So it really exposes like hip hop, all kinds of artists to every kind of demographic. So you might all of a sudden pick up fans that you might never, ever be exposed to you otherwise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you say sled has influenced your own musical direction at all?
I think so. I love being on the festival circuit. So, I mean, yeah, because you just never know who's out there watching. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get into a bit of yourself. What are you working on right now?
Currently working on a new album that is hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be released in October. It's a follow-up to my last album, One Way Ticket. This one is called Heaven. So One Way Ticket to Heaven, kind of the idea.
Ah, I like it.
So, or one way ticket to heaven, or one way to get to heaven. So it depends how you say it. It was recorded at the National Music Center here in the city, with a lot of community, I think, which is the key word here. A lot of community that came through. We had a choir in there. We had a lot of musicians in there. A lot of like heavy hitter producers from all over the country here working on this album. So. Besides that, just getting ready for sled, getting ready for Stampede, getting ready for a crazy summer. It's artist mode. It's the best place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And a shout out to the National Music Center, NMC. I used to actually volunteer there, but if people don't know this, it's really the only museum like this in Canada, and it's here in Calgary and Alberta. And I saw you do a segment about different synths there.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, I think you were part of the program because they will have residents there.
Yeah,
right?
I work there, actually.
Oh, you work there? Oh, man, even better.
I'm an educator there. So when we have kids that come from schools on field trips, we're the ones that put instruments in their hands, teach them about certain elements of sound and of music, maybe some songwriting stuff. So, yeah, we had a great team over there.
Yeah, and the artifacts and the instruments and everything they have there is mind-blowing. When I tell people the Rolling Stone mobile studio was there that recorded probably most of the greatest albums of the 70s, people are like blown away. But really cool center and very much supporting the whole Canadian music scene, but obviously centered here in Calgary, can only support local artists better. So that's amazing as well.
It's amazing that people don't know that it's here. We have 4 Halls of Fames there. The Hall of Fame ceremony is there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? So for musicians listening, that's a place you should check out. I think when it comes to history, you just never know where you're going unless you know where you come from. And the impact that Canadian music has had on the world. And I think that is one of the most slept on things when it comes to Canadian music is that we've impacted the world, and I don't think Canadians are as braggadocious as Americans. But especially when it comes to our music, but we have definitely done some great things from David Foster, Celine Dion. We've done a lot and influenced a lot. American Woman, I didn't realize it was a Canadian song or a Canadian written song until I worked there. Sunglasses at Night, I didn't know either. So it's just
Corey Hart, yeah.
Corey Hart didn't have his glasses there. So it's, I didn't know these things until I worked there. And these are songs and artists that are huge.
Yeah. Canada punches way above our weight class musically. And I think the world should know that for our population. And really the Canadian content laws that were put in, I think in the 70s have really done nothing but really help foster Canadian artists, and very grateful for that. So you mentioned obviously you're playing sled. Do you have any other shows booked in the coming months?
We got Stampede July 10th. So we're on the Coke stage July 10th on 45 p.m. We got some great music. We're doing an all new set. And we've had Kemi Sala, who is Drake's MD. He's done for Deborah Cox. He's done some work for Julie Black, who was just recently here. Him and Trey of Mel Freak have been helping to put together our set and MD our set and arrange. So we're gonna bring the goods.
Yeah, that sounds super. I didn't know you were at Stampede. That's a big stage. It's a good problem to have, and what a way to feature your art.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they have more emphasis on putting artists and Canadian artists on the bill this time, which was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and as they should. where can people find your music? And I will obviously, when we post the podcast in the show notes with the episode, I'll make sure to share all that. But where can people listen to you?
And the main place is KRizzmusic.com, KRizzmusic.com. K-Rizz Music on Instagram, K-R-I-Z, or K-R-I-Z-M-U-S-I-C on IG. It's K-Rizz Music on TikTok, K-R-I-Z on any streaming platform, and you can find me.
That's fantastic. Anything you want to add before we wrap up today?
Just make sure you come and enjoy Sled Island, enjoy the week, enjoy the city being on fire, like not literally, but with music. So like come and enjoy the great music that, your artists have to offer.
I guess one last question you just sparked me there is what bands or artists do you want to see at Sled Island this year?
Ooh, I want to see what Cartel Madras is doing. That is,
yes.
That is my main priority. I want to see what they're working on. I know they got some cool, eclectic things going on. They're peers of mine. I connect with them every once in a while, but I know they've been working hard on some music, and it's been a while. So I'll have to see what they've got cooking this time around. I want to see what Bijan's got going on. So, it's and I mean, most of the time it's just I'm open for discovery. So.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Sled Island. Small, intimate clubs, but you can really see the up-and-coming bands that really pull from not only obviously the Calgary and Alberta area, but really this whole region of Canada and the U.S. We get a lot of Northwestern acts that come up from the Northwestern U.S. in for the shows, but they pull internationally as well. So I'm excited to do it too. But K-Rizz, thanks for talking to me today. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and all the best in your career, and we'll see you out there. And for the listeners here, please get out there and see live music. Hey, it's easy to stream and stream local as well, but get out there, see a show. That's where you really see the lifeblood and the pulse of the city. And it's not just country music here in Alberta. There's so much. We have so much more. K-Rizz, once again, thanks for today and everything, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
It's amazing the way you look at me. It drives me crazy. That dress hurts your body. Can I push up on your love? Can I kiss up on your love? Move your hips up on my love. Your lips are all I want. Your skin's so soft, it's craving. Maybe me and you can have fun fading.
That was K-Rizz of K-Rizz and the Family, one of the artists performing at Sled Island 2026. A huge thank you to K-Rizz for taking the time to speak with me today, and for sharing his perspective on music, creativity, and the importance of festivals like Sled Island in helping independent artists connect with new audiences. If you haven't yet explored his music, be sure to check out his latest album, One Way Ticket, and keep an eye out for K-Rizz and the Family on stages across Canada. This interview is part of our special Sled Island series. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to also check out our interviews with other artists performing at this year's festival, along with our feature episode, The Sonic Collective presents Sled Island, the festival that changed Calgary music, where we explore the history, impact, and legacy of this incredible Calgary institution. We'll also be releasing a post-festival recap episode where we'll share stories from the festival, reactions from fans, and our thoughts on what made this year's special event special. That's a lot of specials. Until next time, keep discovering, keep listening, and keep supporting independent music. I'm Darren Scott, and this has been the Sonic Collective. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the Sonic Collective. If you enjoyed this episode, help us keep great music alive by subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing the show with a fellow music fan. Be sure to explore a growing catalog of album reviews, artist interviews, festival coverage, and music discoveries from across Canada and beyond. The theme music for the Sonic Collective is Dust by Léger Gantique from Calgary. Our thanks to the band for letting us use and feature their music. Be sure to check them out. Until next time, keep listening, keep discovering, and keep the conversation going. This is the Sonic Collective signing off.